Video number 254, circles. The definition of a circle is a set of points that are equidistant to a focus point called a center. So that's the definition of a circle. So each one of these points on the upper right hand side are potentially the same distance from that center point. That's why when you draw what's called a radius, and we do that in the next diagram, each one of these segments here is going to be congruent. Every last one of those, plural for radius, is called radii. Each one of those radii are congruent to one another because of the definition of a circle. Now, if we were to connect those points, we would have 360 degrees all the way around. We're referred to the radius as shown. The diameter is the distance across the circle and takes up 2 radii. Therefore, the radius is half of the diameter. Okay? Because the radius starts in the center, goes towards a point on the circle. A diameter is the distance across a circle that goes through the center, taking up 2 radii. Now, the circumference, the definition of circumference is the distance around a circle. Very similar to the word perimeter. Basically, a circumference is the perimeter of the circle. Now, if you were to take that distance around the circle, or in other words, if you were to take a string, measure the length of the string, then form a circle with it, okay? So you take the string and then form a circle. If you were to divide by the distance across that circle, you would get something very close to 3. Now, if you did this with a number of different lengths of string, okay, maybe you did it with a 5-foot string, of course you probably would want to measure in smaller increments like millimeters. It'll be definitely more accurate if you use smaller increments. If you did this a number of times, you'll get something right around 3, a little bit more than 3. In fact, a long time ago, there was a king that wanted to declare that pi was 3. As it turns out, the more accurate you can get, and actually using ideas of calculus, you can prove that that pi is 3.141592654, and it continues to go on, as many of us know. But that's not what I'm here to teach you. I'm here to show you that pi is gotten by taking the circumference divided by the diameter on any circle. You take the circumference of a circle divided by that circle's diameter, you will get 3.14. Okay? So therefore, we can then say that the circumference equals the diameter times pi, and that would be a formula we could use. And of course, because diameter equals twice the radius, we could also use 2 times pi times r instead of diameter times pi. Of course, it's the same thing. Then we also have the formula for area of a circle. And the definition of area is the number of squares you can fit inside of a surface. And of course, we would then end up not really being able to fit a perfect amount of squares inside of a circular shape. That's why the word pi is used, and pi will be used in many circular objects, but that's the definition of area. And then the formula for area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. Okay, one of the ways you can remember that you use radius squared is the fact that area is the number of squares you can fit, so then it follows and fits for our formula. So we will see you in video 254 to work out a couple problems involving circumference and area.